let's get spelling. Now that our ears are all warmed up, let's spell some words. All right, this word is going to look like this. Okay, and these are the rules that you need to know. The tab 2 rule, of course, it's in every single word. If you're spelling a short vowel sound, there has to be 2 consonants after it. If there's not 2, make 2, double the next letter. If you're spelling a long vowel sound, make sure that there's another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. Okay, you have to know the confident rule, which is I's in the middle syllable get to make their short sound even if they're not 2 consonants after it. So it's a tab 2 rule breaker. I is the only letter that gets to break the tab 2 rule when it's in the middle syllable, like this one. So there has to be a vowel before it that doesn't touch it and a vowel after it that doesn't touch it for it to qualify as being in the middle syllable. Not the middle of the word, the middle syllable of the word. Okay, and then we have the suffix us. Us comes at the end of a lot of words. It's a suffix that comes at the end of base words to change the meaning of it. It's spelled O-U-S. You might think that it should be spelled U-S, and I would think that too. It's logical, but for some reason somebody decided that there needed to be an O in there for the suffix us. It's probably a derivative of a different language that we're borrowing. But we don't hear the O, we only hear the But when you hear us at the end of a multisyllable word, it's usually a suffix that is spelled O-U-S. Your word is luminous. Luminous. Take a minute, put it in the Q&A when you're ready. Of course you are, Beverly. I'm so happy that you're excited. All your hard work is paying off. Luminous is our word. Gorgeous. Luminous. Luminous. 3-syllable word. Middle is I. Sarah, good job. Well done. Okay, luminous. I'm praising Sarah because I saw at the beginning she spelled it one way and then she thought, wait a minute, and then she spelled it again. Yeah, you can absolutely change your answer. Okay, luminous. Consonants. We have U, U, I, N, S, U. You might think to spell U like this because you know words like to, you know words like boot. O is one spelling of the U sound, but the most common spelling is just a regular U, and we always go for the most common spelling first, which is usually a single vowel for a vowel sound. You always try a single vowel first. If it works, stop, you're done. You don't need a vowel team. So let's try it. Can a single U work here to say the U sound? Is there another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots? Yes, right here. So stop, we're done. We don't need an OO, we don't need a UE, we don't need a EU, we don't need nothing. U is just fine for the U sound right here. I in the middle is spelled with an I, and it can break the tab 2 rule. This is the confident rule. It doesn't need 2 consonants after it because it's in the middle syllable. Us at the end of a longer word is spelled O-U-S, usually. That's the suffix us. Luminous. Luminous. Well done. Now that you've seen it, take 3 seconds to look at it. I'm going to erase it and I'm going to have you spell it correctly in the chat just to staple it in your brain. 3, 2, 1. Spell luminous. Okay. Let me see these beautiful words coming through. That's so much better. That's a lot of correct spellings. Well done. Okay, this word, we need to know the tab 2 rule. we need to know let me just talk to you about C. C is almost always going to say k. It's almost always going to make that hard sound k. It's only going to make its soft sound if the very next letter is an E, I, or Y. So for spelling, when you hear k, your first choice is to spell it with a C. There are 3 different spellings for the k sound, and it has its own lesson back in September, I think, if you want to review that. But to summarize, if you hear k when you're spelling, the most common choice is a C. All right. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about this suffix iv. Iv is a suffix that comes at the end of words, just like us or li or suffix s or er, est. There's a whole bunch of suffixes. This is a vowel suffix. Starts with a vowel. And you might be wondering why this e is here if it says iv and not ive, because usually silent e's at the end force that vowel 2 doors back to make their long sound. But this doesn't say if. I mean, it doesn't say I, it says if. This E always has a purpose. It's never there for no reason. This E is blocking in the V from being at the end. When you're spelling words, V is not allowed to be at the end. You have to block it in with an E. So when you're spelling a word that ends with a V sound, put a silent E after it. That is why that is give and not give. And that is have and not have. That E isn't doing anything to the vowel, it's doing something to the V and preventing it from being the last letter. All right, your word is vindictive. 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 So luminous means kind of illuminating. Vindictive means seeking revenge. Vindictive. Beautiful. Vindictive. Yeah. Okay, so consonants we have v, I, n, d, I, k, t, I, v. The I sound right here can be spelled with an I just fine. It can make it short sound just fine because there are 2 consonants after it. So you don't have to double the N because there's already 2 consonants there. This I in the middle also follows the tap 2 rule. Plus I in the middle can say I regardless of if there are 2 consonants that are not or not. So it can say its short sound for 2 reasons right here. And then here's that iv at the end, but it's spelled I-V-E, vindictive. All right, take a look at that if you didn't spell it correctly the first time. And before you spell it though, in the Q&A, spell luminous for me. Luminous. Luminous, and then spell vindictive. Luminous and then vindictive. Spell luminous and vindictive in the Q&A. Gorgeous. You guys are such good spellers. Probably had no idea you could spell so well, huh? Isn't that a lovely surprise? You are good spellers. You just had to have somebody teach you how to do it. You got this. All right, next word. We need the tab 2 rule in every word. I'm probably not going to write that rule down every time, but I want to talk to you about QU. We always spell the qu sound with a QU. You have to have a U after it, I don't know why. Somebody just decided. They had a lot of power, didn't they? They just, one person one day just decided there has to be a U after a Q and just affected all of us for generations. That's, well, kudos to them. But whenever you hear you spell it QU, that U is not acting as a vowel. You don't hear it. It's not making any sound, it's just there as a placeholder. Okay, I do want to talk about the tap 2 rule actually. When you are spelling a long sound, make sure that there is another vowel in the next one or two spots. If there is, you're going to spell it with just a single vowel. If not, you'll need a vowel team, which I would talk to you about if you needed one, but you don't, so there's a big juicy hint. Spell it with a single vowel if you can. Now here is one of the funnest spelling hacks I know. TI spells sh when it is almost to the end of a, if you know what I'm going to say, go ahead and say it. Teach yourself. Multi-syllable word. And what if you've been here for a while? And has a vowel after it. So TI will say shh if it's almost to the end of a multi-syllable word with a vowel after it. Okay, I think that's all you need for this word. Your word is quotient. Quotient. There's a like exit, elbow or elephant in there. Quotient. 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 Go ahead and put it in the Q&A when you've got it. There's a like elephant in there. This right here is an eh. This is a hard one for a lot of people. Quotient. If you hear shh toward the end of a multi-syllable word and there's a vowel after it, spell it with a TI. Quotient. Yes, ends with a T. Quotient. Sorry, I might not have said that very well in the mic. Quotient. Quotient. Okay, you guys are going to love this. So don't worry if you didn't get it perfect in the Q&A the first time, because who's perfect when they're learning? Nobody. Nobody's perfect when you're learning. That's wow. It's just impossible. If you've already learned it, then you can be perfect at something. But when you're learning it, you can't. So don't worry about perfection when you're just learning. Worry about progress. Worry about trying. Worrying about spelling as many of those sounds correctly as you can. And on the ones that you misspelled, when you hear me explain it, that's progress, because that is getting sunk into your brain so that the next time you go, it'll be easier to apply to the next word, the next time you come across that spelling pattern. So repetition, review, a lot of listening, a lot of learning is more important than perfection. Okay, quotient. Our consonants are that qu sound that we're going to spell with a QU. It gets one line because it's one, it's actually two sounds. Probably put a, nah, it's one spelling for, we're going to count qu as one sound, even though it's technically two. It's kind of a, not really a diphthong, but you know what I mean. It changes sound from the beginning of it to the end of it. Okay, oh, sh. Here's that sh sound that's toward the end of a longer word with a vowel after it. Sh, n, t. Okay, there's your consonants. O, sh, n, t. So our O can be spelled with an O right here just fine, because there's a vowel in the next one or two spots. And then is spelled with a short e, which has two consonants after it, so we can say just fine. So this is how you spell quotient. 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 Look at that for a few seconds. Spell luminous. Luminous. And vindictive. Vindictive. Quotient. Quotient. Check your work. Luminous. Vindictive. Quotient. Next. When you hear R, spell it A-R. When you hear R, spell it A-R as in art, car, Arthur. Okay? This is going to get one sound, and this is going to get one sound, R, because there's two sounds there. Okay, and then we have suffix us again. You don't hear the O, only the U. This OU gets one line for one sound, and then this gets its own line. Your word is, and you need the tap 2 rule, arduous, arduous, arduous. That is satisfying, isn't it, Sarah? Arduous. Arduous. Layla, there is a k in there that isn't in the word. Otherwise, you'll have it. Arduous. Arduous. You don't need the k. Arduous. Arduous. Nice, Beverly. Arduous. Arduous. Yeah, good red one. Arduous. Oh, they're not? I think they are, but this one's kind of hard because, well, I'll just explain it right now. So for our consonant, oh, you're right. Thank you, Sarah. Darn. I looked at it 3 times and you only had to see it once. That is why you guys are so much smarter than me. Okay, consonants A, D, U, S. So here's our R that's spelled with an AR. D, U is spelled with a single U, and as long as there's another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots, it's perfectly fine being spelled that way. And then here's our us that's spelled with an OU. Arduous. Arduous. All right, take a look at arduous. And I'm going to ask you to spell it in a second. Spell luminous. Don't look at mine until you're finished. Vindictive. Don't look at mine until you're finished, unless you need to. Quotient. Quotient. And arduous. Arduous. Look at you guys. Nice, Joseph. Look at that. Look at those perfectly spelled words. Would you look at those? You know what? That deserves cake or something. That deserves your favorite thing. Whatever your favorite thing is, you need to go get that because that was beautiful spelling. I hope you have a lovely rest of your night and a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday, everybody.